Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to create this Procreate like typography design illustration in the app Ibispaintx. I am going to share with you all the techniques that I used personally to create such artwork. So let's get started. I am going to open a UH canvas here, which is available under the FHD section. And here I'm going to import the color palette. I downloaded this from Color Hunt website. So here is my color palette. If I want to choose any color from that, I can simply click on the eyedrop color drop tool and select by long press. So like this. Now I'm going to apply this background color. So make sure you use the current layer option whenever you use the bucket tool. So this is on the first layer. I'm going to apply my background color, and in the new layer I created two more. Okay, this is my new layer, and here I'm going to use the felt tip pen hard brush, and I'm going to use this something like aqua green color, and I'm going to use the mirror ruler option to create this V text. So to create, here is my mirror ruler, and I'm on my second layer. Click on the line tool, and here I'm going to create the V shape. So I'm just imagining something like a classic V shape. So first I'm just drawing two parallel lines with this mirror ruler tool on, and here almost we got something like a V shape, and at the top and bottom I'm going to add some curvy shapes to add some classy look to the text. So here you can see I switched off the line tool and drawing with my hands like this. You can I also add some more details in the parallel lines to add some extra classic look to that, but I am keeping this simple because I am also going to add some classic background details. So everything, if I add so much of details in the text as well as the background, it looks clumsy. So I'm keeping the text simple as possible, and using the bucket tool I filled that V shape. I'm just going to duplicate this V into 3 times. So here you can see I'm renaming this because I'm going to use this each V layer for different purpose. First at the top is going to be my outline, and second is going to be my base layer. Third is going to be my perspective. I'm going to add some perspective details to that. So I'm renaming this as perspective. Why I'm renaming is because I should not get confused, as well as when I'm explaining to you, explaining this to you, you should not get confused with what I'm doing with all this V. So that's why I'm renaming this. So renaming is very useful. You can also try it. So in the first layer on my outline, I'm going to create the outline for the V. For creating this, click on the eraser, fill tip pen, and with eraser on, and I'm going to choose this curve tool. By using this, you will get that anchor points. You can adjust simply those to get the desired shape you want. So actually the erasing process is going on here. So like this I'm placing, and I actually erased these parts. I'm also going to it's like a tracking. I'm going to trace here on the right side as well, and if I feel anything like not in the shape, just by adjusting the anchor points I can get the exact shape. So like this. and I left here. So filling it. Okay, now I'm going to show you a technique to erase. Click on the bucket tool, and here is to fill, and here is to erase bucket. By clicking on this and clicking on that V shape, we just erased that part. So whenever you want to erase something like this, use that techniques, which will be very useful for you. Okay, now I'm going to change the color a little bit darker than the base green color. So make sure you use the fill option from the bucket tool. Okay, next, this is for my shadow. So I'm going to apply the black color for my shadow, and here I'm going to use the bucket tool and filling with black. Next, this is for perspective, this is for base, this is for outline. So next I'm coming to the base layer. So here I'm going to use the filters. From the style filter, I'm going to use the bevel inner. I'm just adjusting the brightness, so where my highlights, where my darkness should come, just by changing the circle symbol available near the circle, that big circle you can adjust. Also you can check out all the parameters available below, like height, smoothness, highlight size. So I'm keeping the highlight size maximum because I want it to be more highlighted, which means having more shades, something like that. So I'm just adjusting the lighting, where should my light come. So if I keep on this right side, so the light is on the right side, so on the left side of the details it's going to be darker because the light is on the right side. Okay, everything is okay. Click on the tick button, and here is my V. I'm going to do the same thing for the outline as well. Just click on the layer that you want to make changes, go to the filter and select the bevel inner filter from style. Using the same lighting settings, and just keeping it as it is. Okay, here comes my perspective. For perspective, I'm going to add some directions. So basically perspective, do some 3D details. So here you can see I'm using the exclude perspective, and you can select the color which you want to add. So here is my base color is green. I'm going to keep it like a darker greenish shade, like this. Yeah, this is my perspective. You can check the all parameters available, and here is my the environmental size, means color. See, basically what it do is around whenever there is an object, it reflects the color of the lighting around it. So if everything around you is yellow color, it's going to show some yellowish highlights. So that's what happened with this environmental color. So here you can see I added some yellowish color to the environment color, and here finally we come to the shadow part. So now the shadow is not visible that way, so I'm just moving it above, a little bit above and on the left, because my light is on the right, so I'm keeping it left. So go and click on the Gaussian blur from blur tool. So I'm keeping it at maximum radius, so to get that realistic, shadow like look. Okay, I'm adding some color details to this base V. So what I'm doing is created a clipping layer and using the add blending mode for that layer, and I'm going to use the airbrush brush and adding some purplish color at the top to create some variation, because my basic V, or when we consider the NTV, it is full of like a greenish one. So I want to add some flavor to it, so I'm just adding some purples. Also you can try out some pink color. So now I'm going to add some darkness to the background, so I'm keeping at the linear burn and selecting the same background color. The same background color acts differently according to the blending mode we use. So here I use the linear blending mode, so it's showing the shadow like darkness. So here it is. I'm going to add one more layer. I'm using some purple color, so using the same airbrush and changing the blending mode of this to add blending mode. Okay, yeah, actually I'm not going to use the airbrush, instead I'm using the cloud brush. So this gives some more like a foggy, smoky background look. So this is how it is. If you don't want to be more edgy one, just click on the force fade option and then reduce the opacity as much as possible. Just it should be visible, the strokes. Keep in that manner and keep the brush size to the biggest, so that you can get that foggy look. And now, so using the felt tip pen hard brush, I'm going to add some background, drawings, some symmetrical illustration I'm going to do. So keeping the blending mode of this layer to add, and I'm going to use the mirror ruler tool again. Here is my some classic kind of Persian style, art. I like this kind of artworks. It looks really classy. Since I use the add blending mode, you can see the background cloudy details on the design that I'm drawing. That is because I'm using the add blending mode layer. So if you want to get some inspirations like this art, for this art style, you can check out Pinterest. You can try out some search some words like Persian patterns or Indian motif patterns, something like that. You will get these kind of designs. You can practice on your own, and this will give real classic look to our art. You should definitely try this. So here you can see I initially used the felt tip pen hard brush, and now I am using the lasso fill tool from the special option. This lasso fill tool is more comfortable when we compare to the whatever brush, you can tell, because when we use the brush we're going to draw some shapes and we're going to fill that shapes with the bucket tool, and if you left any gap somewhere you have to refill that using the brush or bucket. So if you use the lasso fill tool, it is more easier for you, so it is more comfortable. Okay, next I'm going to add a new layer, keeping the same blending mode as add. I'm going to add some details like this. So why I'm doing this in a different layer is, one thing is I'm going to use the different color, as well as I'm going to add some different filter colors that you will understand later on. So that's why I'm drawing the same details, something like that, but in the different, in another layer, like this. This is more easy to draw when you are doing with the lasso fill tool. So I feel really fast and easy to use tool. You can add these details like strokes everywhere you feel like more empty, and everywhere you find some curves. When you're adding these lines to the curvy shape, it looks more elegant. Okay, this is my art background design. So I'm just going to duplicate these two layers like this, and bringing that duplicated layer here, and I'm going to merge these duplicates together. Why I'm going to do is because I'm going to add some shadow to this art. So I'm just renaming it to shadow 1 and changing the color of this entire layer into a black, so that I can apply the shadow. So how I'm going to do is click on the alpha lock option and use the lasso fill tool like this. I'm going to do so. You find it's empty. That's because I didn't change the blending mode to multiply it. So when you are in the add blending mode and using the black color, it will not show on the screen. That's the thing. So I changed it to the black color. Now I'm going to add some filter to that two layers of designs. So what I'm going to do is same filter, nothing else. In the style filter option, I'm going to use the bevel inner, and here you can see you can either change the color like this highlight. So here you can see by changing the highlight color, you can see huge variation in the look wise or details wise. Everything looks more beautiful after changing the color. So now coming to that layer with lots of strokes. So here I'm going to use the same filter, but I'm going to change the color. So here I'm going to use that highlight color as yellow, so that it looks beautiful with pink color. So I'm also changing the lighting settings of this. So I'm checking out where it looks good, and also I'm checking the highlight color. Pink on the pink doesn't look good. So here I'm using the yellow color. It looks beautiful. Okay, this is the details. So still we have the shadow details to be completed. Now I'm going to add the details for the shadow. So click on the shadow and using the transform tool, move it to a little bit left side, right side, bottom side, wherever you want, where you feel like your shadow should come. So it depends also on the lightings. So here you can see, though I clicked on the blur, nothing happened. That's because I kept the alpha lock on. So switch off the alpha lock and then click on the Gaussian blur, and here you can see the shadows. So I'm reducing the shadow amount and checking out where it looks good. So here's my shadow, here's my shadow, here, here. So it looks good. So I'm adding a little bit. Okay, this is perfect. So it's almost ready, and still we need to do only a few things. So in the background I'm going to add some like a fire crackers like details using the glitter add brush. I'm going to use the multiple colors here, and I'm keeping the blending mode of this layer as add. So this is how I'm doing. Here you can see the stroke. So it's going to give some glowy, fiery, smoky kind of look. So here I'm just reducing the size so it looks good, not much more, more appealing kind of thing. So like this, I'm concentrating much at the center. Okay, I'm also reducing the layer opacity. So this is, I'm going to switch on this mirror ruler, create a new layer at the top of all the layers, and I'm going to draw a detail over that V. So some circle, metallic nuts, bolt like details. So what I'm doing is I'm using the circle tool, felt tip and hard brush, and drawing 3 circles. Okay, but the layer is on the add blending mode, so it looks like this. I use the purple color, and here it doesn't look good. So now I'm going to change the layer blending mode to normal, and again I'm going to use the same filter, bevel inner. Yeah, so this is how it looks. It looks really good. I'm okay with everything, the color, everything. I'm just setting it, and now I'm going to add some glow, outer glow to that nut. So clicking on the glow outer option, and here you can see not much, it just make a little changes. So like this, and just changing the color to green itself, to its background V color. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to add some shadow to this, so using the drop shadow filter from this and changing the angle to something, the shadow light is on the left, right, and the shadow is on the left, in that manner. So this is our final typography. I'm saving it as PNG, and this is my new artwork. So I hope you like this tutorial, you got some information from this. So if you like this, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.